Johnny Depp became a household name after his role in the wonderful family blockbuster Pirates of the Caribbean. His sassy and humorous on- and off-screen personality has made him a fan favorite. Fans were devastated after the 59-year-old was pulled from the Fantastic Beasts movie series due to his turbulent legal battles. But we come bearing good news. According to Mads Mikkelsen, Johnny Depp might be returning to his Fantastic Beasts role. Stay tuned to find out more. First, Depp and the Fantastic Beast franchise. The Wizarding World film franchise has been experiencing a bit of a rough time recently. Johnny Depp, who played the Gellert Grindelwald villain in both the previous Fantastic Beasts movies, was dropped from the cast in 2020 for Fantastic Beasts' third film, and the split wasn't an amicable one. It all started when the actor faced a very public legal battle with Amber Heard during the pre-production process, which eventually ended up in divorce. In 2018, Johnny believed that his character had been assassinated by a newspaper, which had published an article labeling him as a wife-beater. He decided that he wasn't going to tolerate this, and ended up filing a defamation lawsuit against them. Unfortunately, the result wasn't what the star had hoped for, and authorities ruled in favor of the media outlet. As you can guess, this caused the Pirate of the Caribbean megastar's reputation to take a big hit, and he faced immense public scrutiny. As a result, Warner Brothers chairman Toby Emmerich had no choice but to ask the actor to resign from the project, and Depp chose to comply. By that point, Depp had already begun filming the third installment in the Harry Potter prequel series, and though later it was revealed that he had only done one scene for the upcoming third part, the studio allegedly still had to pay out an 8-figure salary due to Depp's so-called pay-or-play contract. Interesting. So who was Johnny Depp's replacement? After the British tabloid won the legal battle, it became certain that Johnny wouldn't be playing the evil Gellert Grindelwald in the upcoming movie. So now the question was, who would serve as his replacement? Well, fans of the franchise wasted no time helping in the search. As soon as the Oscar nominee's removal was announced, fans got to work and began petitioning for Colin Farrell to return as Grindelwald, who had previously already played the character in disguise in the first Fantastic Beasts. But since Farrell had already committed to playing Oswald Penguin Cobblepot on the Batman, a return to the Warner Brothers production seemed out of the picture, and instead reports emerged that Mads Mikkelsen was in discussions to play the character. But before you know it, Mikkelsen was officially cast for the role. He spoke about his time playing Grindelwald, saying that it was a lovely experience, but at the same time, quite intimidating. After all, he had some big shoes to fill. He compared his takeover as Grindelwald from Depp to reinterpreting Hannibal following Anthony Hopkins' incredible portrayal of the character in Silence of the Lambs. He also expressed that he's been a fan of Johnny Depp since his youth, so he wanted to do justice to his character, but at the same time, he hoped to do that by making the role his own, instead of trying to replicate Johnny's way of doing things. It would have been creative suicide, he said, also adding that he needed to carve his own path. And seems like he succeeded in his mission, because viewers only had positive things to say about his chill, less ruthless version of the antagonist, and some have even called him the perfect successor to Depp's white-haired whisperer. But sadly, Fantastic Beasts 3 was kind of a flop. Although the third Fantastic Beasts picture approached a respectable $400 million mark during its run, it was nowhere near close to what a time-tested franchise is supposed to inspire and earn. The creators really did everything to prevent any sort of taint on the franchise's reputation, and although The Secrets of Dumbledore topped the charts during its opening weekend, it had gone on to become the worst box office performance in Harry Potter history, and there's a lot of reasons for why this happened. For one thing, Fantastic Beasts 3 came at a time when the film industry was still struggling in a post-pandemic economy, where box office numbers fluctuate and the success of movies has to be measured differently. But even considering that, the 11th feature film of the Wizarding World did pretty horribly. A lot more went on behind the scenes, and we all know the most obvious reason was recasting Gellert Grindelwald and bringing Mads Mikkelsen on board instead of Johnny Depp. His eventual removal from the film was not appreciated by many, and as expected, Depp's firing drove away many loyal viewers. Apart from that, there were also some issues in terms of the current narrative of the Fantastic Beasts series. It was no secret that the twist of Credence's family background in Fantastic Beasts 2 wasn't well received by viewers, and the constant returns to the wizarding world just made everything worse. On top of that, it didn't help that the movie had begun to focus more on Dumbledore and Grindelwald rather than Newt and his adventures, causing viewers to lose interest in the movie series. Pretty sad, right? Moving on, Mads Mikkelsen has just announced Johnny's potential return to his old Fantastic Beasts role. No, your ears are not deceiving you. Johnny Depp might actually be returning to reprise his iconic role in the future installment of Fantastic Beasts after winning the defamation case against ex-wife Amber Heard. And the good news has been announced by a reliable source. Mads Mikkelsen, the man who replaced the Edward Scissorhands star as Gellert Grindelwald in the third part of the series. It seems like the tables have turned. After encountering a significant blow to his once towering acting career and months of an ongoing media circus, Johnny Depp has officially cleared his name as an alleged domestic abuser. In case you haven't been keeping up, which is highly doubtful since the internet took it upon itself to broadcast every single second of the case earlier in June, a jury in the United States found Amber Heard liable for defaming her ex-husband Johnny Depp, and the judge ordered her to pay him $10.35 million in damages. And while we're happy for our Jack Sparrow, we gotta admit we did miss the hilarious memes. But now that he's been proven innocent for the most part, the chances of him returning to the Fantastic Beasts franchise have increased, and we're over the moon. In an interview, Mads spoke on the matter and said that now that the circumstances have clearly changed, we can hope for a possible comeback. He also added that being a fan himself, he's really counting on it. How cute is that? Next, does Depp even want to be back? Given that there's been no official statement from either the producers or the actor, we can't really say if Johnny Depp's return is actually even going to happen. Sadly, all we can do is speculate. But let's say that the franchise does want the Golden Globe winning actor back. Will he accept the offer? We mean, it wasn't really the nicest of farewells when Johnny Depp was basically pressured to resign as he was gearing up to start filming the third movie. A downhearted Depp had announced the news on his social media, saying that although he's respectfully opted out, he'll continue his fight to prove the wife-beater allegations wrong, and the man really stayed true to his word. So now that he's in the clear, will he want to go back? Well, considering he didn't leave by his own will, it might actually happen. Lastly, will there even be another Fantastic Beast movie? Once upon a time, the Wizarding World spin-off was a second home to many after the Harry Potter series came to an end, but unfortunately, the Fantastic Beasts franchise has been unable to maintain its pace in the hearts of fans, and the magic just hasn't been the same. Initially, Fantastic Beasts was supposed to be a trilogy, but then the Harry Potter spin-off was expanded to 5 films by writer J.K. Rowling and director Daniel Yates, and 3 of the 5 planned movies have already been released. The first one, titled Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, has received a favorable response from critics and audiences alike and earned over $800 million at the worldwide box office, naturally paving the way for a sequel. Sadly, the second film, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, wasn't as much of a hit and earned around $150 million less at the box office. And then in April came the third film, The Secrets of Dumbledore, which turned out to be the biggest box office disaster, putting the future of the franchise at risk. So now, people are left wondering, will the third movie be the end of the franchise? Although we're yet to hear from the creators, there's a chance that Fantastic Beasts 4 could continue if Warner Brothers decides there's still life within the wizarding world. And since not every character from the series saw their arcs concluded, we can keep our fingers crossed and hope that we don't have to say goodbye just yet. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think bringing Johnny back to the franchise is the right call? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.